And yes, please enjoy this practice. You'll just need a blanket, and if you do like using all those juicy yoga props, use them by all means, and listen to your body. So I might have to move the angle of this. We had everything all set up. Bye, Julian. We had everything all set up perfectly to do this practice with a computer and then with the phone, and then it went kaput skis. So you just gotta roll with it, just like the waves. You learn how to surf and you keep on riding. Okay. In a couple of moments, just to sit, get comfortable. I want you to sit so that we can have the full capacity of our lungs to do a couple moments of breath work, and in channeling, harnessing the energy of the ocean. Let's bring the fingers to curl in together as a mudra and the thumbs to touch. So it's sort of like a heart, right? And bringing that into your into your sacral chakra. So just about at the belly button, below the belly button with the fingertips. Sitting up nice and tall, and close your eyes if you'd like to. And sort of gazing out into the ocean to really harness this energy, sending it to you. Feeling into the body, feeling into the lungs, feeling into the heart space. And imagine that you are sitting in front of the ocean. The sky is filled with white, fluffy clouds, soft blue surrounding those clouds. And there's a peacefulness to the water, to the waves, but also intense power behind each wave that crashes into the sand, into the shore. Taking fuller breaths, smelling that fresh, salty, sandy air. Breathing it in all the way in, following the breath in through your nose, down your throat, through your chest, your heart, your ribs, down into the belly. Connecting to your Ujjayi breath, your ocean sounding breath. Creating that ocean sound from deep within your body. And if you've not done Ujjayi breath before, it's sort of a soft sound on both the inhale and the exhale. And so if you want to try it with me through the mouth first, open your mouth, inhale, and exhale, like you're fogging up a mirror. Trying to maintain that hush, that hum of the breath with the mouth closed. And cultivating that peaceful yet intense strength from within, from your breath. Allowing the breath to really nourish the body. Breathing in the waves, breathing in the ocean, and dropping that down, 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 all the way down to your root. And riding the waves of your breath like the ocean waves. And taking a moment to ask yourself, what do I need in this moment? What do I want to cultivate for my life? What do I want to draw in and manifest? Whether that's a deeper connection to self, whether that's healing something for your heart, for your mind, whether that's attracting the relationships that you want, or being able to fully trust yourself. What do you want? What do you need right now in this moment in your life? And it can be big, it can be small. Just taking that moment to acknowledge what it is that you desire in your soul, in your spirit, in your heart. If you dare do so, giving it even more power by using your voice to ask the universe for what you want. Use your own inner sound healer to send the energy vibrations of what you want out into the ethers. Taking a big breath in, holding that ask, that request into your body. Breathing it in deep. Big breath in. Holding it in your body. And then letting it go. Opening your hands. Letting your hands connect to the earth. And then taking your legs back behind you in a tabletop position. Just moving with your breath in your body. You can inhale, arch your back, and then exhale, round the spine. Again, inhale, lift the tailbone, lift the heart. And it might serve you best to just keep your eyes closed and really be into your intuitive body wisdom. Let your body guide you. Let your breath create this dance of movement and stillness. And really articulating through your spine, through your body as much as you can, breathing in as much as you can, breathing out as much as you can. Breathing through the nose or through the mouth. Take your legs side to side, move your hips side to side. Bring your right elbow to the earth and look over the left shoulder. Keep your left arm straight. Big twist, big breath. Humming, sighing, or yawning as you exhale, allowing your body to purge. And then switch at your own pace, straightening the right arm, and then bending the left. Both forearms down to the earth. Lift your tail as high as you can and then sink your heart. You might rest on your chin, you might rest on your forehead. If this is too much for your shoulders, you can bend an elbow, place your palm underneath your forehead, or maybe even a rolled blanket underneath your chest. Heart melting pose, Anahatasana. With your heart against the earth, just taking in Mother Earth energy, feeling that place of being grounded, being anchored into the present moment, into your body. Maybe feeling it in your heart or in your third eye. Feeling both anchored, rooted, but also open and expansive. Spirit of yin, just knowing that we're holding these shapes for an extended period of time, but if the shape doesn't feel good in your body, find a way to create a shape that does work for you, whether it's adding more props or pillows or blankets, or subtly changing the shape. And just remind yourself that there's no right or wrong way to do this practice. If the shape looks totally different than mine, that doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. It just means that you are being present and honoring your body and what your body needs. Big breath, stay with the breath. You can slither all the way down onto your belly when you're ready to. And just fold your hands one on top of each other. Elbows are wide, forehead down. And flatten the tops of the feet. Elongate through the legs. Maybe lift one hip and then the other hip. And by lifting the hip, I don't mean lifting it off the floor. I mean lifting it up towards your rib cage so that your pelvis sort of does this teeter-totter rocking. One leg becomes longer than the other when you move the hips in this way. And so we are lengthening the thigh bones, the legs right out of the pelvis as you hike the opposite hip up. You elongate the opposite leg. Be still and feel your breath in your belly. Breathing as much breath as you can into your belly. Feel energy coming in through the belly and up along the spine, towards the heart, towards the throat chakras. Sending your breath into any tight places and just keep breathing long, full breaths all the way in, all the way out. Keep the eyes closed, stay inside. And the word yoga comes from the word to yoke the mind and the body. To not see one as separate from the other, to harmonize them through this practice of uniting breath and body, stillness, rhythm and movement. 5 more slow, full breaths. Bring the big toes together to touch and let your heels flop out wide. Take 5 more breaths here. Really filling up the body. And then flip the feet in the opposite way, bringing the heels together to touch. So the insides of the feet are touching the earth, the toes are pointing away from each other. And then just bring the legs to neutral. Take the legs out a little wider and bend the knees. Let the legs go side to side. And move slowly. Feel where there's restriction in the way that the legs move, either to the right or to the left. Notice where there's tightness through the low back. Maybe let the legs circle instead of just go one side to the other. And release anything that's coming up to the surface. Any air, any wind, any breath. And move in the opposite direction as well. And straighten the right leg. Keep the left knee bent. Wave the left foot towards the right side and then slide the left knee all the way out to the side. Half frog pose. And then you can slide the left elbow down towards the left knee and look also in that direction. Big full breaths. You might slide a rolled blanket underneath the knee if you need some more support. You might reach down and hold on to the leg. You might slowly start to creep the leg up higher and higher by straightening the leg. And still breathe deep, full breaths in and out. there's a big, bright, golden sun coming over your left shoulder. And as you breathe in, breathing that sunlight into your body, nourishing every cell of your body with that bright golden light. Breathing it in, inhaling, drawing it in, and then exhaling, drawing it down the rest of the body. You might come up onto forearms here if that feels better for you. And again, just keep finding that sweet spot. It might move. You might need to chase it. And just as the sun moves within the sky, if you want to stay in the sun, you might have to change positions. You might have to move a little to the right. You might have to come up a little higher or crouch down a little lower. The sensation in your body be that sunlight. Move with sensation, move with the sun. And because we're working with the fascia, with the connective tissue, we might feel sort of dull, achy, sort of burning sensation. We want that. We don't want the body to feel in pain. We're not looking for a stretch in the muscle. We're looking for more of a sensation of stressing the tissue, the connective tissue, that tight, sticky stuff, where we feel resistance when we breathe. And again, you can start to walk that leg up a little higher if it's available to you. If not, don't worry about it. Stay where you are. Keep breathing into your belly, filling up your whole body with air, with light. Few breaths, slowly start to come out of the shape, really slow, especially if you find your body very tight. We're going to keep the left knee bent and reach the right arm off to the right side. Step the left foot back where the knee's pointing up to the sky, and look over your left shoulder, lift your chest. We're not going to hold this shape as long. 5 big breaths here. And slowly make your way back to your belly. Make any adjustments in your body that you need. Sway your hips, rock your pelvis forward and back or side to side. And when you're ready to, you can bend the right knee and wave the right foot over to the left side and slide the right knee off to the right. Ooh, and the right elbow and knee towards each other. Bigger, fuller breaths, feeling that beautiful, bright Father Sun over your right shoulder now. Drawing it into your body, that energy, that lightness, the warmth. Noticing what feels different on this side, where you feel more restriction, more tightness, and where you can send more breath in to support that. After a few breaths, again, starting to hike the knee up higher. Go slow, honor your body. Yin is a very simple practice. The poses are very simple. There's not many of them. It's really about slowing down, finding the awareness of your body and your breath, getting comfortable in the body, and just listening to sensation, riding the waves of sensation. And if it feels too intense, know that you can back away by coming out of the shape just a little bit. And if you feel like, oh, I want to chase that wave of sensation, I'm going to move deeper into it using my breath or deepening the shape. So let your body decide when it's time to come deeper into the shape, to come out of the shape. Maybe extend the legs straight out, maybe reach down and grab hold of it. Noticing the tightness, where is it? Is it in the front of your body or the back? Is it close to the surface or sort of very deep in? Maybe you come up onto the forearms, or maybe you stay low to the earth. Noticing if the body starts to tighten up somewhere else, either sending the breath there or changing the shape slightly. We don't want to refer tension somewhere else because we're moving too deep into a shape. I think really what I love so much about this practice is that it really deepens our intuition by moving slowly, by listening to the breath, by listening to the sensations and what it says about the body. It really helps us to build a trust within ourselves by keeping ourselves safe in the shape, modifying, getting to know your body and the patterns around tension. So much freedom in that. I'm not having to ask, am I doing it right? Is my alignment right? Because this is all about you. Deepening the breath. begin to come out of the shape if you're ready to, or of course you can stay in it longer if you feel like you need it. Moving slow. Reach the left arm off to the left side. Lift the right foot back behind you so the knee is pointing up to the sky. Look over your right shoulder. 5 big breaths here. And then rolling back to neutral, back to the belly. You can lie flat or you can come up onto the forearms here. You can bring the palms to the earth and lift the heart, sort of an upward dog shape. We call this seal pose in yin. And we're just gonna hold this for 5 breaths, just a transition. You might sway the hips here. And then push yourself back into a child's pose or back into Anahatasana, whatever feels best for you. Walk the hands out in front, lift the pelvis back up to tabletop position, step your left foot forward into a dragon lunge. And you can bring both hands to the inside of the foot if you like, or you can frame the foot. Again, find that place where your body wants to go. Again, we're not going to hold this pose too long. We'll take about 5 deep breaths here. Ready to move, shift your hips back, straighten out the front leg, flex the foot, and curl the toes back towards you. Some of us have very tight hamstrings. That's okay. Big breaths. Move your foot if you're really tight in the back of the leg. Curl the toes, point the toes. Again, a quicker transition, both hands to the inside of that leg. I know it's intense. And then sweep the leg around all the way off to the side and back behind you. Anchor your right heel into your left hip, pigeon pose. Lower down onto your forearms if you like, or you can bring your forehead down. Now in this variation of pigeon pose, we want to make sure that the front leg is on a diagonal. It's not a hard angle. It takes a lot of pressure off the knees. If you were working with props, you would slide a pillow underneath your left hip, underneath your chest, underneath your forehead. If you're not working with a pillow, what I really love here is to interlace the fingers with the thumbs pointing up, and then just rest your eyebrows over the thumbs, and you just massage along the eyebrow line towards the temple. That's a really nice little self-massage ritual. lot of people can tend to carry tension between the eyebrows. Or if you want to, you can just hold the head. Adjusting the shape as you need to, big breaths. Big breaths. And this is one of these poses that flexible people love to hang out in, and it's actually not beneficial for them to stay in it too long. And then people who are really tight in their hips, this is really challenging for them. So if you know who you are, if you're the flexible person or the tight person, adjusting the shape. If you're very flexible, coming out of the shape a little sooner. If you're very tight here, staying in a little longer. I'm quite flexible, so I'm going to start to come out of the shape here and create some stability by coming up to the hands, and feel like I'm pulling the front leg back and the back leg forward. So you feel this pulling in and lifting sensation through the pelvis, through the thighs. Good. From here you can walk the left knee forward and come into a downward dog shape. Just taking a few moments to explore your downward dog. Move the heels, move the hips. When you're ready to, you can bring your knees back down to the earth and step your right foot forward. Again, hands might frame the foot, they might be on the inside of the foot. Listen to your body. Big breaths. Shift the weight back when you're ready to. Straighten the front leg. Don't sit too far back. We want to feel the stretch through the hamstring. And again, you can move the foot if you need to loosen up a little bit more through the back chain. Ready to, you can sweep the leg around and back, angling the left heel now into your right hip and sitting back into your pigeon pose. Relax the jaw even more in this shape. Maybe allow the lips to part, the teeth to separate from the biting surface. Relax the muscles in the face. Just feel everything softening more and more and more. Exhale, sigh, yawn, hum, release. Again, staying in the shape as long as you like. Knowing when you're ready to come out or go a little deeper. Now to transition out of this shape, you can go back to downward dog again, the same way you did before, or you can push off into the left hip, sit down, and then swing the right leg all the way around. And bring the soles of the feet together to touch. Knees wide, butterfly shape. And again, this is just a transition. We're not going to stay here too long. Big breaths. And you might open both legs out wide into the splits for a few breaths, leaning a little further forward. Maybe a little sway, a little rock side to side. Slowly. Bend the knees, bring the feet to the earth, and windshield wipe the knees side to side. With your prop, your pillow or a rolled blanket, whatever you have, place it a third of the way up your mat. And if you're with me yesterday, we did this yesterday. Place it behind your bum and then lie back. Now, I like it a little higher up, just behind my heart. And you can cactus the arms so that the elbows are bent. The fingertips are pointing back in the same direction as your head. And you can straighten the legs if you like. Let the legs flop out wide. Big, big, big breaths here. Opening your mouth, relaxing the jaw. Breathing in and out through the mouth. Feeling the belly fill with air. Breathing in as much as you possibly can, breathing out as much as you possibly can. Releasing sound. And if this feels like it's too much, you can bend the knees, you can bring the feet back to the earth, you can move the blanket a little lower down. And sometimes if we're very tight in our abdominals or our hip flexors, this will feel very challenging. So again, listen to your body, move the rolled blanket where you need it, where you feel that openness, but that ability to also surrender and let go. And you might rock the body gently by moving the feet forward and back. Or if you've got your knees bent, you can just sort of push yourself forward and back. It's a little movement. And I sort of just like to move the blanket a little lower, a little lower, a little lower every few breaths. And you're welcome to do the same. Or you can move the blanket really low down and then hug your knees to your chest. Or take your legs up into the air. Again, find that place where your body wants to be next. If your legs are in the air, you might give them a jiggle and a shake. And you might move through the feet, through the ankles. And you might just be still. You might even have your legs resting against the wall instead. Just riding those gentle breaths here, moving towards the end of your practice. You might even allow the legs to fold over your upper body. Holding on to the back of the pelvis, snail pose. Bring the legs down whenever you're ready to. And just move the blanket off to the side or maybe underneath your head instead. Coming into Shavasana, our last pose for today. And if there's a Shavasana that you really love, go for it. And if you're not sure what to do, you can just lie flat on your back, or you can place a pillow underneath your thighs. Allowing the body to completely surrender, to purge anything that you've drawn up to the surface through this practice. Coming back to what you're cultivating for yourself in your life. The eyes closed, starting to create the vision for what that looks like. Allowing the edges of the mouth to curl up towards the ears. And as you create what you want, as you cultivate more of what you want, bringing more joy into your life. Each breath, breathing in, drinking in that vision, deepening your smile, recognizing how much gratitude and happiness you will have when you can cultivate that desire, creating your reality from your internal world. And just taking a moment to thank yourself for making time to do self-care, to take care of your mind, your body, and your spirit. Bringing one hand onto your heart, one hand onto your belly. And repeating these words quietly or in your head. I love you. Taking a big breath. I honor you. And I deeply appreciate you. Big, big, big breath in. And just letting that rinse over your body, your soul, your spirit. Wishing you so much love, so much health, and may all the things that you desire deeply in your heart be manifested into physical reality this year. Namaste.